do that. Well, hello there, everybody. How are you doing? Let's see, so I just muted you, Jenny. Is that what you wanted me to do? Yeah? Okay, so you want to be unmuted? Can we hear you now? Let's see.
There, I'm unleashed.
There we are. There you are. We couldn't hear you there for a minute, or I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm unleashed. You can hear me. Welcome, and thank you to everybody who's here in this space. I really appreciate all of you.
Yes, indeed. And thank you. As you will notice that we are absent the one aspect in there. Let me go over here. Geez, I'm hitting buttons right and left. Miss Trina is not with us. She's driving. So sending her, that surrounding favor bubble as she is on her way. So Trina, we love you, dear. Miss you, and we'll see you next week. So and Cass, I sent you an invite. I know that was unexpected, but anyway, I have our beautiful, what I would say, co-host as well, Miss Jenny. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. I've been in the sun. I've been collecting the produce, really grounding while doing that. So yeah, it's all good. It's all golden. It really is. The sun's out in the UK. So
excellent. I got the same thing. Great, tan, and I can see Cass is coming in. So this will be fun. So welcome everybody. Speaking favor over us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. And thank you, moderators. And Cass, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
Wow, I'm unique. What's that, dear?
I was going to you. I was going, Wayne, send me a link. And you did.
Well, you see, we're connected, and it's, yeah, I sensed it. And so how are you? It's actually sun shining there. So summertime is getting closely upon us.
Yeah, it's lovely here at the minute.
Is it warm?
It's that warm. Look, I've shaved my head for my new start.
Wow,
nice.
It looks fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah, get you in frame. Yeah, get you
look ready to go.
Ready to rock.
I love that. So what's summertime like in the UK? I mean, what are your temperatures right now?
Oh,
I never know. It's sunny.
It's about 19 here.
So 19 would be what, upper 60s Fahrenheit?
A bit more.
A little bit more, like 70?
About 70 something, 70.
Okay. That's beautiful weather. 72 is really cool weather.
Nice.
Well done, Kaz, because I just know it's sunny. I don't know the temperature. I don't even know the day.
You know what? Speaking of this, I thought y'all would really like this. So let me pull this up. So on Saturday, this is what I captured. You see that?
Wow.
It was
it's like a sleigh ride.
I don't know what I looked at them, and let me see. I gotta move this because I can't see where that is. Okay, and I think so. This is what they looked like and there were three of them. There was this one, there was this one, and there was one over here. And you can see the whispering tail behind them was, yeah, it was just unique.
Phoenix, aren't they? They're like Phoenix when you look at them from the side. The second photo there.
Yeah. Very. Yeah. So, it's just me, but since I have been down this journey, I recognize that there is life beyond what we call the carbon factor, we're carbon-based life forms. I think there's a intelligent species that actually lives in the air. And I think that
absolutely,
it's like your dragons.
Consciousness for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Everything's conscious, and I think what they spray in the sky with sometimes is actually showing up more of the life that is sometimes invisible in the sky, you know, and the particles are hitting it.
Mhm.
I do think it's creating more visual effects for us to what's in the sky, but you can't not know that there's life beyond carbon life. We're life beyond carbon life, beyond these bodies. So as above, so below. If the seas are full, you know the skies are full.
Yeah, and it's just very. Someone said they see a frog.
Where?
Yeah.
I didn't see that until just now. I said, "Yeah, I guess that is a frog."
Yeah.
But anyway, so you know, you never can stop not looking up because it's lots
My
happening.
neck, seriously, from looking up,
Yeah.
it's constantly flipped.
So, Kaz, you have taken a huge step in your life, which congratulations. I mean, you know, that's how you conquer fear. You just go,
I've just got the job that I was after. I start on Monday.
congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kaz,
Way to
congratulations.
go. All right.
I've just got rushes all over me from just telling you that.
You
Yeah, I
stepped
start
into you and
Monday.
you stepped right back. That's
I
amazing.
love this. Wow.
It's what I was manifesting, so yeah, it works.
Well, that's how universe works. It really does. It requires you to take a step, what I used to call a step of faith, you know.
It was a step into the unknown for sure, but I needed to do it for my own
I
mental
love this.
health.
No
More than
safety
anything.
net, no nothing.
No,
Yeah,
I stuck
yeah.
myself right in it, and it was. Don't get me wrong, it was very, what's the word, different, the feeling, but also powerful.
Unsettling. Hey, listen, we're all humans. It can be a real trip because you've got those two choices, you know. You could get the thought that says, "Oh, Kaz, what did you do to girl? I mean, come on, how are you going to support yourself? How are you going to get this?" And then you got the other side that says, "Nah, man, no. You know, for greater things, sometimes sacrifice is required."
I always knew I'd be all right. That I just had that's what was coming out loud. You're going to be all right. You know you're going to be all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You always are.
That's what I love about y'all. You're powerful women folk.
I'm so proud of you, though, Kaz, because that's the epitome of the fool card. You know, he's standing on the edge of a cliff, and everything that he's known before is actually trying to hold him back from taking that step off the cliff.
Yeah.
You just stepped off the cliff and
I did.
felt
With
the
the ice.
exhilaration and the trepidation, and kept going, and you flew. You flew.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, it's
It's
definitely.
called
I
walking
feel
on
that's why I cut
sunshine,
my
man.
hair. I was
So,
just wanted a
so
total
what are you
new
going to be
change.
doing? You want to tell everybody, or?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm going to be working for Royal Mail. It's like a post woman. You post the mail to people's houses.
Yeah.
So you go
How
around, you
cool is
park
that?
up, you get out, you walk delivering the mail. So you're out in the countryside and out and about all
Far
day.
out.
Yeah.
Wow. Way to go, girl. Manifest, man. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And then when
Far
you
Look, Kaz,
out.
you're going to build community. My granddad did that as a job after the war, and that's how he got the libraries built. He got the pensioners meeting together every week. It was a
you
glue.
meet a lot of
You're going to
people,
be a glue.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I want to start like tomorrow.
People are going to love you. They're just going to love you. They're just going to
Yeah,
adore
you
you.
could come and deliver mail to my house anytime you want. I mean, you
Oh,
know,
cool. That's
yeah,
good to know.
yeah.
Thanks.
Just step over the pond and, you know, absolutely. Well, I am
Yeah.
happy for you.
I'm welling up with tears for you. I can see you
Oh,
building
bless, thank
community.
you.
I'm getting all emotional for you.
Oh,
That's
bless you.
Wow.
I'm just so made up. And it's been a lot of I did go, don't get me wrong, I did meet, I was going through a dark part of the soul. I sat doing a lot of meditation and manifesting and visualization, and I just all the time I've had not working, I've been like in the garden, just soaking up the beautiful energy and then putting that into my meditation and just going for it. And it's just, everything's come how it should. It's been
Kaz, people, I didn't realize there's a number of people who are male women, male men here in the United States. So Timothy Watts says,
it brings the glue. It's because it brings the community. No wonder.
yeah.
Awesome people.
So you're among friends and family.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think this is just so cool. So, you know, I know what it's, as an entrepreneur, you know, you get out there and you can make millions and you can lose them. And it's interesting because it's that same spirit that is manifested in all of us who say, well, to hell with reason and, you know, the way that it's supposed to be. You know, I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to, you know, I believe in myself, and whether I fail or succeed, I at least did it.
Yeah. Give it a go.
Yeah. I mean, you can, you know, when I look back on my life, I've always been an entrepreneur because that was the circumstances, but I know people who they find a niche in their life and they never deviated from it. Never.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, my brother is like that. My brother has been with the same company, I don't know, 44, 45 years, you know, and it's just unheard of today. You just don't find people, but yeah.
Is he happy?
Pardon?
Is he happy?
I don't know. I mean, you know, just honestly, I think he's accomplished things in life, and that gives him great pride and a great sense of purpose. So I'd say within that, satisfaction, is that a word that would be close to happiness, but not really happiness?
Contentment.
Contentment. That's a good word too. Yeah. You know, you're kind of, and I love him dearly. I mean, you know, he's my younger brother, and you know, yeah. But I am just so happy for you, Kaz. That it's the entrepreneurial spirit, and you're right. And I'm sure that Timothy and others who Timothy could he says have been carrying the mail happily for 20 years. And Jenny, you brought out an aspect of it because it's kind of like, you know, what one would term an almost missionary type work, because you're going to be a vital part of a community, and you bring, you know, it's amazing the energy, because you could bring a letter from someone that has an unexpected good thing, or it could be a bill, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
quite a range, isn't there?
it is. I mean, wow. That's so cool.
My granddad always said that. He always said, I don't know if I'm bringing good news or bad news, but I know I can bring a smile to apply it to whatever. And loneliness is an epidemic right now for so many people, Kaz, and I can see you just bringing joy to people. That kind of wealth reverberates. You know, you will be getting pheasants as a gift, you know, from a local farmer. You will be getting a duck egg here and there, and that reciprocity, because you're open enough to be in the moment enough for people to feel comfortable to approach somebody like you. So many people have got their eyes down and just going forward, you know, don't look at anybody, whereas you, very much like my granddad, are going to engage. You're going to be, if there's one person I would choose for people who are lonely or who might be getting good news or bad news, if there's one face I would choose to see smiling at me, come rain, sunshine, or wind, is you. You know, because you've got that openness and that love and compassion. And because you haven't been afraid to give it a go, you've known debt, you've known wealth, you've known heartbreak, you've known those things. And so that comes through you. So you walking through that front gate, I just think you're going to take the sting out of a lot of wasps' tails of debts coming through the door, worrying things, because, you know, you can say, you're not the only one, don't worry. You know,
Awesome.
it's just so good, so good. You're going to build things.
Awesome, yeah.
I think that's cool, man. I'm just sitting here.
Thanks, Jim.
It shows what, you know, and here's the thing. You brought forth exactly the occupation that you wanted, what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it shows you the power of what one individual can do in changing their lives. It's amazing if you begin to multiply that by a factor of doubling. You know, 1 makes 2, 2 makes 4, 4 makes 8. And that's what I'm talking about in this manifesting. We can do this. Each of us,
Yes.
and I'm speaking to 2 of y'all, and if Trina was here, it would be her as well. All of us have had to manifest what would be considered almost the impossible.
Over and over again.
Yeah, and if we can do this individually to where we, for myself, I know that I can purposely manifest and bring things into my life. And it's just a matter of focus and concentration. And then once you get to that point, it's the assurance of knowing, because this is what my religion taught me, you know, faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's exactly what you did, Kaz.
Yeah.
You took
It's
something
like,
out of substance.
Yeah, you never doubt. You never have doubt. Doubt never enters your mind. And that's really important as well. Even when you think
Vital.
nothing's happening, you just keep going. You just keep going. It's here. It's here. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I tell people all the time, if you will learn to doubt your doubts, you'll never doubt your doubts again.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you think about that, Jenny?
I think that's it. I do the doubts in a funny voice, you know, you know, like, you can't do it. Yes, I can. No, you can't. You know, and it totally takes it out of, it takes the seriousness out of it, and it shows the ridiculousness of it when you say, why can't I do it? Well, actually, why can't I do it? What is there to stop me doing it? I can astral project, I can fly, I can know my spirit in the physical. I literally built myself from a bunch of cells. Really, what is there that I cannot do? And so that's a good way to speak to your doubts in a lock-in way, to be able to see the ridiculousness of it, of that, you know, what's the worst that can happen? You know, if you
what am I going to die? That's an absolute certainty. So
and once that sting's taken out of it, I mean, really, that's the main thing that they hang over us, that actually sometimes death can, when you are in such doubt of self, death can seem like a happy reprieve, because people get in such a state of fear over their own voices, and that's the main key, that when those doubtful voices of others you make your own, whether it's parental, grandparental, religious, when you internalize them as your own, there's very little there that is actually organically of our own. You know, when you can strip away, all of a sudden you realize there's a heck of a lot more space to fill yourself with, rather than filling yourself with doubt. Doubt is heavy. It's a heavy, dense energy. Hope really is the balloon. It really is the parachute. It really is the ability to be able to hone into the things that aren't seen yet. My friend, similar to Kaz, and I don't think she quite believed it, and she went through the same throes as Kaz. I think that's why I'm getting emotional, because I can feel it's all happy and gleeful now, but I can feel the depths that you've gone to, Kaz, to build this role for yourself, to literally build it for yourself. And I'd said to my friend, very good friend, you're going to build a role for yourself. and she's been out of work for reasons for a while, and there she is. She's built through all of these transitions she's gone through of like you, self-clearing, finding out where that doubt is, doing the shadow. All of a sudden, all of the aspects that she's been working on in herself apply to the role that she's built, and is going to help other people with those very same avenues of doubt, avenues of pain and fear, in a sort of counseling role that has literally been built by her, sculpted. And so that is, it's just a beautiful energy that I'm witnessing, that there's you and there's a couple of other people I can think of that they've built it themselves. They haven't said no. They've gone through the seriousness and the hardships and the throes of letting go, stripping away of the shackles, and like you're dancing yourselves into this unseen, not yet known role, and you're doing it beautifully. So it's just marvelous.
Exciting.
It is.
Once you see it's where,
Are you going to wear shorts in the sun? Because
can do more.
Are you going to wear the shorts in the sun? Because the posties wear the shorts in the sun.
I need to get my legs the right colour first. I don't want to cause any accidents on the first day.
Like milk bottles.
So yeah, I'm getting a bit of the old fake tan on so they can come out without blinding anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went shopping today. I got my, because first of all, obviously you don't get your uniform straight away. I manifested, right? You like this as well. That it said that I needed to wear two, just to get some dark navy tops, plain, no logos. So in the car on the way to town, I manifested. I said, right, I need two or three dark navy tops, as minimum price as possible. So the first shop I went into, I found the last two tops, right, dark navy, my size, reduced from $5.99 to $1.99.
Oh, Kaz, just walking on air.
And I thought, oh, they're for me then, thanks.
Well done.
So I was just like, oh, that's great. Got my uniform ready.
I think you're being an inspiration for some people in here. I mean, this is, even when things are supposedly so much in confusion and chaos, you can still prosper. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, prosperity is a state of consciousness.
Yeah. It's like, because it's mad the way you say that, because like, when you're down and you can feel that your vibes you're giving out aren't that good, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just from going out in that day with that feeling, what happens around you, because you're obviously attracting back what you're giving out, it's really noticeable. And then if you go back indoors and go, right, snap out of this, change your feeling, change your energy, and then go out again, the difference in what you encounter on that second trip out is just amazing.
We really are magnets.
You can play with it like that, you can play with it.
We really are magnets, and we really do,
magnets.
Have this sort of auric field, especially people like you who have such a energy about them. You do, when you're low, you magnetize things intensely. I magnetize things intensely. I think this job's going to really help you keep a medium, a happy balance, because you're walking, you're greeting, and you're going to see that be applied in your daily work more and more and more, for you to be able to be even more adept than you already are, being able to switch up that energy to say, not today, I need to go and knock on Miss Cannybody's door, and she's always a bit down, I need to lift it up a bit. You're going to be like a tuning fork. You're going to
I
be.
did that when I worked at the grocery store, delivering the groceries. There was always one house that was always grumpy, and it was my mission to make them smile, right? And I just think to myself, what could I say? And I just used to just comment on the garden and go, wow, your garden's beautiful. And their face would just transform. And that was it, you couldn't shut them up. They were well away, you know what I mean? They were just like, loved the fact that you mentioned the garden.
I'm thinking of all the people who haven't, they don't even know what's in their future, but we do. This is really an interesting point of view, because you're going to have this route that you will have most likely the same people on that route. All of us around the world, we know what's coming to them. They don't know that yet. So it's kind of interesting, you know, when you look at it, how we're now part of this. And I'm kind of excited because I'm going to be hearing the stories of these people's lives that will begin this interaction. I mean, it's quite magical.
Yeah, sure.
You should write a book, Kaz. You should write a book. You should just start keeping a diary of your daily customers, you know, giving them the nicknames, and you should write a book, an esoteric postie, the esoteric postie.
There's always been something in the back of my mind that has gone, you're going to write a book one day.
Well, I've just told you. I must be psychic. I should start that job. I really should. Yeah, I should look into that line of work, because you're going to write a book, but make it easy on yourself. Just jot down notes every day, like a work diary of Mrs. Cannybody down the road, Mr. You know, Pink Socks up the road, and the different nicknames that you'll give them. Sandals with socks up the hill, you know, the sheep farmer, you know, all of these different. Yeah, it would be like that, and I can see it. I can see it. You should write the esoteric postie. You know,
you could become a bestseller in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, that'd be great.
People will be
because I don't think, as you're talking, Jenny, I'm here and I'm thinking, I don't believe I've ever read a book that was based on a male person's route and the interactions they have with their customers. I guess it's a word. Yeah.
I haven't either, but I can see that there's going to be one real soon. Esoteric postie, I'm telling you, you're welcome. You're going to, you know.
The esoteric postman, is that what you're saying?
Esoteric postie. That's what we call it.
Okay, over there. I see. Okay, all right.
You know, and you know, it's neither male or female. It's just a postie, because everybody, you know, sees the postman as the friendly. It's quite hard to get a job in the Royal Mail, Kaz, isn't it?
I know it is.
Quite hard to pass the interview process, you know, because it's
in the area I wanted to get it in. I even got the area I really wanted to get it in.
This is fantastic.
It is,
which is available there.
This is manifestation, 101. And this is, the no BS. I mean, a lot of people can talk the talk, but I don't know a whole lot of people that actually walk it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Way to go. I mean, and I think Jenny just is giving you, I think that is, by the way, I would copyright that just as soon as possible, because that is, in fact, a great title. So yes. Mr. Floyd, so this conversation is rewind as weird as I am in my 3rd week of delivering mail for the UPS, the United States Postal Service. Now this is weird.
See, we're spreading out, like we're going underground, aren't we? All of these adept people are just sneaking into these holes where it's like reaching as many people as possible.
What I am so pleased about is that reading this, and Kaz listening, is that the awareness of this group and your own esoteric knowledge that you have is amazing, because each one of us are a torch unto ourselves. Yeah. You're just kind of spreading that light a little bit more.
Yeah. We're like eternal flames going around the world, one parcel at a time. dropping in.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what. Now we ought to be opening up an
Bombs.
ad agency on this one. We
Yeah.
yeah,
Dropping in those esoteric truth bombs,
yeah.
a smile makes a difference. And, it's real life as well, because it's quite an intrusive thing, the mail, and it's used for really negative stuff. There's nothing nicer than getting a parcel or meeting the postie at the end of your path, rather than them putting it through your door and saying good morning and, good afternoon. But it's real life, because you're seeing people's development of, like, that grumpy person that Mr. Grumpy, that you found the click that made him happy, and it was actually the flowers. And it's probably because the flowers weren't judgmental at all, so he felt comfortable with them. So the fact that you felt comfortable with them made
Of
him
course.
comfortable. You can delve into all of that in your book, Kaz. You've got to write the book.
And I'm telling you, you need to copyright and secure that title. It's just, that's a great one.
What was it, Jen?
The Esoteric Postie. I'm going to make you a t-shirt.
I could see it. I could actually see, seriously, I could write either a play script to this that would be adapted for television, or I could actually see this becoming a movie. Well, you add in the romance, you got to have a little bit of the factor, or you could really take it in another way of a mystery of, that one over there is really weird. I mean, you could go in a number of different genres, but the foundation of the story is one that would be captivating to the audience.
Because it's real life, and it's so many different characters for free. You're literally being paid to go to your characters and do.
Kaz, you'd be the perfect character to build on that. Someone I was reading about with Jack Nicholson when he played the postman. The postman always. Which was the postman always cometh twice? I think that's
comes twice.
Yeah, I forget who wrote the playwright on that, but I could literally see this becoming an adaptive series. So we're making claim to this. We'll do our copyright on this. No one can take this, because this is the kind of stuff that, here in the United States, we have there's the writer's strike. So nothing is being produced, no television, no late night, no nothing. And that goes for films as well. But this is the type of thing that you could see it on the BBC very quickly. I mean, Jenny, hell of a name, girl. Hell of a name.
But we keep it off the BBC. But
I don't know what else you have over there.
Yeah, they don't deserve that. So they don't deserve cars. They're not getting it. They couldn't pay enough. So bring back the Zen, Jenny. Bring back the Zen. But you do need
getting a little warm over there, Jenny, or what?
I know, I'm getting a little bit flushed here. There's been an esoteric battle.
You notice how she's just a little blushing, just a little bit. Yeah.
Flush of righteous anger there. Not having anybody but Kaz. So you're gonna build this. You literally in your free time, you should get a head cam, I'm telling you, and you should be on TikTok doing your postie rounds. You should be, you can build your brand off this, Kaz. I'm telling you, you could sell esoteric postie t-shirts like that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. This is creativity. This is why we speak it over us, favored. This is nothing missing, nothing broken.
But we do. We seal this in stone. We seal this in the luminiferous ethers. We write it in all of those places, and we sign it with your name, propriety to you, and you only, Kaz. And whoever you choose to benefit from it, we absolutely seal it for you. This is your gift. This is your claim. This is your build. We're just enjoying the ride and gonna love watching you grow with it. But we lay claim to it. It's nobody else's to have. And you're going to inspire other people. I know that to maybe have spin-offs, from you, but imitation best form of compliment, isn't that the word saying? But this is yours. We claim it. We're all adepts here, but we claim it for you and you only.
Yeah.
Claim that it keeps rolling and keeps building, and that you keep growing and expanding and flourishing from it. So mote it be, so it will be, so it's already written, done, deal, sealed, and delivered. Delivered. It's in the picture.
I caught that.
It's just like a
Delivered, sold,
business reading
sealed.
comment.
Hey, Theodore, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, baby, he's got a bit of a gripey
So-
tummy.
Talking
Oh.
of creativity, I've got a hobby.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I've turned into a mycologist, and my upstairs is my bio lab for magic mushrooms, and
Excellent.
I've been growing them professionally in
Now,
monotubs like this big. And
literally?
my first lot is nearly ready, and I'm so excited.
So you're going to be growing mushrooms? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I've started. My first lot are about that big.
Wow.
Guys, that's amazing.
Nearly.
Are these psilocybin mushrooms?
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah, the best.
Wonderful.
very much
Wonderful.
so.
So
Well,
I've been studying it.
they're
for
here in the
months.
United States, they're actually now prescribing psilocybin mushrooms to
Yeah,
people who have post-traumatic distress syndrome
Yeah,
and depression.
They should.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want to help people with is to do it in microdoses.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
You can't take a whole lot because, as I've told the story, the cows will start talking to you.
And listen, these are
I love a
powerful. These are
conversation with
powerful
them.
beings. These are powerful beings. You need. We only need a tiny amount. These are magnificent, and
Yeah.
powerful things, and
They're
they'll
amazing
make you. They'll make you trip
species.
out if you get greedy with them.
It-
But if you're
It's
good
just
with them,
fascinating.
yeah, they're so
Fascinating.
strong. Wow.
And it's like I always tell people, you think about booze, I guess whiskey is a big thing now with the younger generation. And it's interesting because they don't understand that what they're actually consuming is fermented spirits.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's all connected. There's spirituality to everything.
Well, it is
Yeah.
everything, isn't it? We've just been taught to detach ourselves from it and stick a label on it and then
Mm-hmm.
consume it without knowing what they do. And it's the same thing as going to church. You go to church, you consume the information without knowing what to do with it, really, without knowing why it's being delivered and the intent it's being delivered with. And then you try and apply it. It's like sticky plasters without any sticky. You just end up getting wounded over and over again. It's knowledge, but the wisdom to apply that knowledge is huge. And this mushroom journey that you've been on, the mushrooms are the biggest teachers that I've found. That I've spoken to you about that. They're the biggest masters in the underground that I've found as
Yes, the
being so
mycelium.
knowledgeable. Yeah, it's so
It's just
strong.
one blanket of mycelium.
All
with
around
everything.
this realm, the connecting, speaking to one another,
Yeah.
lightning speed. I mean, it's
They're
the
more
internet.
powerful than the
Yeah.
animal kingdom, the
Well, they hold up the trees, they deliver
plant
nutrients to
kingdom.
the
Yeah.
trees, they speak to the trees, don't they? And when the trees need
Yeah.
something, they go
They're
and get it,
amazing.
bring it. It's people don't realize. And so this is where you've built this role from, by going through the throes and the research and I know what that's like, and the time consuming learning. This is how you've built that role. This is how
Yeah.
you bear.
This has been a
and built
massive
it up.
part of my journey. I've not taken any yet, mind, but it's
No,
just the
it's knowing
research
of
I'm
them.
doing is mind blowing. It's so fascinating, and I've been gathering all the equipment, and I've been getting the environment right, because you have to be so sterile. Because it contaminates.
Yes.
It's a big thing.
Do you know about the putting the sock over the extinguisher to give them the freeze, the initial freeze for the mycelium? You can
Yeah, the
get a
substrate.
fire extinguisher and just put a sock over the end of it, and it freezes them perfectly with the CO2. So it's a really cheap way of doing it, yeah, of initializing that first freeze, especially in these summer months coming up. So I'll send you some links, or I might buy an extinguisher to try it out again myself because it's fun. But
I love this.
But yeah, put a sock over the end of the fire extinguisher. Obviously, be careful, but you know that gives you a really good initial sterile freeze to get them going. You know how they like to be frozen.
That's good to know. Yeah.
I tell you what, folks, you got more than what you bargained for here. This is wonderful. I'm going, yeah, yeah. You know,
and it's for my own journey as well to explore myself with these different strains I've got.
I think it's wonderful. If I was there, I'd be right there with you and being a tester. I mean, I know from, my youth, my connection through hallucinogenic psychedelics, whether it was through mushrooms or through mescaline, which is nothing more than peyote. It's a cactus. Just have to watch where the strychnine is at. But these are powerful bridges that I didn't realize at the time that bridge you into the spiritual.
Yeah.
And it's followed me my whole life. And it's never for me, whether I went into, what they would call extreme Christianity, which almost is the mystical side of it. It always has been that influence that happened, back when I was 15, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in it. I think that people who suffer from depression, oppression, feelings like that it allows, and this is just my interpretation, it allows that aspect of the soul brain that you can begin to get a handle on and it's a spiritual influence is what it is.
100%. 100%. And all of religion has hijacked it, but even down to the hats that the Pope wears, they're all in nod to the mushroom kingdom. They all, are talking about the ancients, talking about their mushroom trips, of how they stayed in connection and kept reconnecting with their spirit form, as well as the life forms around them that these two eyes deceive us into thinking they're not there. It's like being one of those shrimp that can see 180 other color spectrums than we can. I've forgotten the name of them, but it's a certain type of shrimp that a tiny little thing can see a whole other world, all other dimensions, just because of the light frequencies they can see through and the colors that you've been seeing in spirit, Wayne, that you can't even describe here in the physical because they're not here. You can't bring them down. You can't bring them in because they just don't fit here with these two. You need to have that, and so the hidden knowledge of the fungi is one of the most disgraceful things I think religion has done to people. I really do. They did that experiment with the US Army where they gave them mushrooms and they had to stop it. And some of the writings in the report is that, well, why are you stopping it? Because none of them want to fight each other. They're all just chilling out and
like
having
peace,
a laugh.
man.
It's all good. It's all good. Keep your gold, keep your oil. It's all good. It's yours. It's yours anyway. Please let us help you clean up the road. We made a mess. It's like, I don't know if it said that. I'm making that up, but it said similar to, like peace and love. I'm not shooting anybody today, no thanks. So it was not feasible for them to go forward with it, but they've known that was a long time ago. They've known for a long time that they could heal these soldiers of the trauma that they made them go through, the things that they made them do and see and be around. They could have at least facilitated that healing. So it is, and this is where it can seem like chaos, because it is chaos at the minute. But this is where the cracks happen in the concrete that's been holding so much back, that mycelium that's been underground in you, Kaz. You know, you had to get to a point of, this is untenable. I can't stay where I am. I can't continue in this way, in this format. And that's where you sort of cracked your own concrete. And it's because of this mycelium journey that force has pushed it up. And this is where new niches in the market are going to start to emerge. New people coming forward with books that haven't been written about the real life of actually a period in history that shouldn't be forgotten, of what it's done to people and how people are recovering or not. All of those things are sort of coming together and coagulating together for you. Just
someone has said, well, what about the title? The craziness is only beginning. I think the title fits exactly our conversation.
Which,
I mean, you know, listen, depending on what your position is in societal beliefs, but this conversation we'd be having right now 30 years ago would be unthinkable. You know, you wouldn't be talking so openly, particularly in, you know, something like psilocybin that has, you know, hallucinogenic effects, but it has so much more. And we can have a very adult conversation because society has adapted enough to it. However, there's the other aspect of it too, is that it can be abused. And, you know, and unfortunately, we don't hear the stories of the positive aspects. We only hear the stories of the ones that just, you know, have gone way out there.
And again, that's where there's no freedom without constraint. You cannot have this unabandoned freedom. I've kept saying it for years now, without constraint. Unless each individual has got a level of constraint, if they don't have that constraint, then the person next to them can't possibly facilitate their freedom, and vice versa. It's like a domino effect, isn't it? And so there are a lot of people out here that are wanting this freedom that they speak of only because they want the freedom to impose themselves or their will on another person, or they want their bad behavior to just facilitate their freedom and not think about the larger implications that because I'm going to be stupid with mushrooms, they're going to be made illegal. You know, there's no individual strength to say I need to have constraint where I want freedom. I can't just have gay abandon freedom, because then that will impose my will on somebody else's freedom. I'm going to butt up in their space, you know, like a bumper car. So
I always remember Pete Townsend when he said about Keith Moon. He said Keith was a brilliant drummer. I mean, he was just one of the best. But he said the thing that Keith lacked was discipline. And it was that lack of discipline, because they had all the money. They could get all the drugs they wanted. They could do whatever. They were the Who. But for Keith Moon, he never understood that one thing in life: with freedom comes great responsibility.
Yeah. And people get that wand of freedom, and it's up to them as how they wield it. But it does have implications for the people next to them. It does have implications for the people down and up country from them, because then it can be used as an excuse, as a leverage for powers that be to create some kind of power grab, you know. So Big Pharma has created a huge power grab over the whole fungi industry for a long time, knowing its possibilities. Certain things I won't even say on this stream to jeopardize it, of the possibilities of what these tiny things can do for our bodies healing wise. So there's been huge leverage for a few people that just couldn't control themselves. And so why it's continuing to give them the excuse to micromanage the many, isn't it? Without that individual constraint, and us all taking a responsibility to have that constraint. I would love to rage against so many things right now. And then I've had to come to the point where I can't just have the freedom to do that. I can't just put out there terrifying things every day that maybe do need to be spoken about, because I can't assume that the people consuming that information are in the right space and place of mind to be able to inner standard to be able to let go of it if it doesn't belong to them. But at the same time, I have to balance that out and say, but I have to be in flow. I have to allow my voice, my truth, my freedom to flow. But I do have to show that constraint daily. And so, and the people are, if you want to go back to the title, the crazies aren't taking any of that responsibility at all. You know, if
and that's what we're seeing it here in the United States, and it's everywhere in the world. It seems like society has lost this thing about responsibility, self-control. I mean, if you're really free, then you're most likely a very disciplined person. Because the only ones that I see that are victims of alcoholism, you know, drug abuse, and you can go on with a whole myriad of other things, is that each one of these people, they never found where they said no.
They haven't found constraint. And it's like constraint right now is a dirty word, isn't it? You know,
it is.
Everyone's allowed to identify as a pineapple if they want to. If they want to identify as a unicorn, they can. You know, but at the same time, then they pull in the other rules as well that wouldn't apply to a unicorn or a pineapple, as and when they want. So you don't know where you stand with anybody because they've got no foundation. They're just being swept like this way and that way as to whatever the powers, not just the powers that be, that put it out. It's like these people are so in not knowing of themselves at all that they're sort of searching for as many people as they can.
My friend's got a daughter.
What's that, dear?
My friend, she's got a daughter, and you're not allowed to call her, you know, say, how is she? You've got to say, how are they? And this is a one person, like she classes as they.
Oh yeah, the pronoun thing.
Yeah, and it's really difficult for your head to get your head round.
Well, you
singular being a plural, you know.
Yeah, and that's where that's applying like a bipolar, a multiple personality to that child that probably didn't have a multiple personality before she started being told she wanted to be seen as a they, because how many theys are there that we're referring to in this one child? And so you can see how that tears a child apart, doesn't it? The schools,
that's her choice to have to be called that.
Yeah.
And
well, this is
it confuses
I just know, I just know that Theo would make a lot of choices every day that would be very detrimental to him. And I have to say no to many of those choices because I need him to be secure in himself in order to have the freedom to be his organic self. And in schools right now in the UK, high schools are letting children identify as a completely different name, usually be under the guise of a different sex to their biological sex. And they're telling the kids not to tell their parents because the school won't tell their parents either. Well, that's like living in a forced affair. That's like children living in the same energetic imprint as you live in when you're having an affair on your partner, that you're literally living two lives and you have to quickly get back into set, you know, before you get home. I made the mistake because I knew one of William's friends as just the name that I'd been told from William. When I was hearing a different name when he'd gone to visit, I was like, you where? You're at whose house? You said you were going to such and such's house. And it was confusing. And I realized, oh, this child hasn't told that this is the same child. You know, I was getting confused thinking, have I got it wrong? Has he gone to another person's house? But no, this child is living a double life and it's breaking the mental health of our children.
It's a topic that we have to be, the censors are really, you got to really, and again, we're not saying in pro or con, you know,
I just find it, I just wish kids could be free again to dress up and explore all of themselves without feeling like they have to decide so quickly. on
Yeah,
things.
I'm of the fact to just let them be kids.
Yeah.
They've got enough in the world to deal with. We're on the brink of nuclear war, World War III. Here in the United States, we have politicians that have lost their freaking minds, that are actually saying in the press that a war with Russia is the only thing that that has got to be done. And you're going, what?
No.
And I have a theory on this, and it's just my theory, that I think we're going to see this accelerate deterioration of our mental faculties here, our cognitive abilities. And I think part of this, and it's just me, but we're in this magnetic excursion. And they just updated the maps. Unfortunately, they go to 2019. But as our magnetic poles begin to shift, it has a direct, because our brains are electromagnetic in their makeup.
Yeah.
And as the shifting of our magnetopause continues to decline, the increase of cosmic rays coming in, what we know cosmic rays do to human minds, it drives them crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this whole gender identity thing, I'm sitting here, I'll be 68 on the 19th of June. And I remember marching the streets in Austin, Texas for, gay liberation. I remember as well marching in the streets in Houston and Austin for feminist. And here I sit now, almost 68 years old, and I look back, and I swear to God, I feel like we're almost reliving this. Everything is undoing what we thought we accomplished 50 years ago.
And that's where the freedom without constraint comes in, because all of a sudden, if you look at women, let's say, that's maybe the safer subject because it's been going on so long. But if you look at women, there was that fight, a good fight, a real fight to try and reestablish the woman's place that was there anyway prior to this hijack of a place of importance, a place of reverence, a secure place in the society and familial makeup. So you marched for that, and you did that with good intent. But
we
with
did.
that, the powers that be saw that, okay, so we can now have the mothers do all of the housework. They can look after the elderly parents, and we can make them pay tax on the jobs that they squeeze in between all of that. It's like, so where's the freedom? Where's the extra freedom? Because,
well, here's one of the things my pet peeve was, when I was a CEO, a couple of the companies I was CEO of, it was imperative that there was no differentiation in pay between male or female. And that's something I was a real big advocate even back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And today, it's amazing that we still have not seen that equality.
No.
There's still a separation. And here we're supposed to be these advanced, open-minded society. And yet the very goals and aspect of what we were looking for equal rights was that, that a woman isn't going to be penalized by sometimes as much as a third or more just because she's a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to me, and yet we still can't seem to get that accomplished today. So now we're going to enter gender fluidity. Well, to me, I think that's saying, okay, that's fine, but let's not lose focus of what originally we were here to do. Yes. If we're going to bring equality, then let's make sure it's equality.
Yeah. And again,
I'll get off my soapbox. That's why I left freaking politics.
Yeah, because it's just a cycle. It is.
Isn't it? It's a crazy cycle.
Great people fight for great things with great intent, and they just drop a few grifters here and there. They drop a few policies to say, yeah, we're fighting with you. And they sort of circumvent, is that the word, where they sort of they take it off course to where the people who were marching originally were going towards, and they say, okay, we'll negotiate, we'll give a woman a role in the workplace, yes, but we'll make a lot of noise about that and make a lot of cheering and progress and yay, but we're never actually going to do the equal pay thing, we're never actually going to do the equal promotion thing, we're never actually going to do then the equal rights for a father to not be looked down upon if he wants to share the home care and build up a full wage between the two people. You know, there's the discrepancies that are there. They just circumvent everything that you try and do on a mass scale, which is why it's got to start from the individual vortex of you showing your constraint in the direction of freedom that you want to go in. So if you don't agree with the discrepancy in pay and you build a business, then you make sure that you don't join in with that kind of thing. You know, you pay equal pay. Or if you don't like the way that I don't know, children are being spoken to, build a gardening club that they can come to and speak to them as you think children should be spoken to and treated. Because going in the direction of trying to fight this bull and this eagle that we've been fighting for so long is just, it's like banging our heads against a brick wall over and over again. It's crazy.
Well, and with that, you see, time travel, the hour has come and gone. It's a crazy time. And it's going to get crazier, folks. Just get used to it. I will not be here tomorrow. I'll probably may not be here Thursday. We have some work being done, and so it's the way it is. It's not going to have so anyway. Kaz, I am so happy. Thank you for coming on. And you know, I am happy for you, girl. I mean, way to go. Manifest exactly what your heart desired. I mean, that is a lesson. If I had known that you were going to be coming on until you actually sent me the signal, I would have changed the title. But
that was mad.
I saw him get the signal. I literally saw him get the signal. He was like, "I'm going to invite Kaz." Yeah, yeah. I just come on, and he was like, "I'm just going to invite Kaz, and we'll see if she can come." And so I watched him get the signal from you.
She did.
Brilliant. I love it.
I got a witness. So, so Kaz, I hope to have you back on, but you know, I don't know how the new job will have it, but you know, well, it's in the evening time for you there, so yeah.
I'm not sure what time I finish, but I know I start at 8 in the morning. That's all I know so far. So
okay,
but I'll keep you posted.
Please do. As a postie, keep me posted. Love it. And Miss Jenny, thank you. Theodore, good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you, little man. Yeah.
I'm going to go and sort his little tummy out. He's got a bit of a gripey tummy. I think I might have frog-wad him a little bit. It's overfed him.
Hey, Shannon, how you doing? The wise April Fool. Good to see you. Missed you too. I mean, and I know Susie Q. I hadn't seen her in a while. And well, anyway, folks. We do love you, and like I said, apologize for tomorrow. We'll get the panel on our with Nina the Mystic. Make sure to check out her show tomorrow with her Hump Day show and with JD. So yeah, but we got to get this work done. So it's just the way it is. I love you all, and Kaz, much love to you again, Jenny. Love to you. Theodore, high five to you, and everybody else. We love you so much. Thank you.